I knew him when he was a little brother. Met him at Sandra's. He's done workshops, conducted workshops at schools. He was part of the arts. What's the organization? The Arts Collective? Huh? Universal Arts Movement. He was part of the Universal Arts Movement. This brother has traveled all over the United States performing his poetry. He has 2 CDs, one either came out or coming out. Fuck that. I just want y'all to put y'all motherfucking hands together. And I gotta do this with somebody else's voice. Y'all want y'all to give y'all motherfucking hands for my motherfucking band. Give it up for my motherfucker. I'll give it up for Influence. Yeah!
No matter what you hear on the stage tonight, I want you to understand the revolution is not a poem. It's not held in line by 28 rules or set in between 2 margins. I never seen a poem take a bow and have a room full of spectators applaud it. It's never schemed on rhymes or presented punctual punchlines. In fact, the only connection the revolution has is configured diction that it was born from the word tired. Of being distressed, overworked, worn out, and frustrated. Like my sisters are frustrated because their deadbeat baby fathers don't bother. All they do is create little boys that play with toys that lack a progressive positive influence, who then become big boys playing with rags, hanging out of back pockets, now crying on lonely street corners. So now their tears, you see those tears become libation for lost years. Absorbed in the concrete to reveal the footprints of how their sisters now walk these streets. Because there's no secret. Then she gives all her secrets to Victoria and Calvin, who's more inclined to disrespect her, when the hieroglyphs on Kunta's back should have been a revolution to compel them to protect her. Instead, he neglects her, buying her soul and selling his own for diamonds and cars, so now Master gets a 2-for-1 deal. That's why I tell these poets and these rappers to spit from your soul, because this thing is real. Better yet, what's more important is your actions when they stop their hand clapping. Because you see, a revolution is not a poem. If it was, way before Barack and Michelle was on the scene, our children would have known the intellectual elegance is reachable. See, this thing here is teachable, but poets gotta walk through the words they spitting through. It doesn't matter how many degrees you reach for, that just becomes your degree of separation, your disconnection from your people. If you don't let them know these hymns you spitting from your soul is spiritual. You see, egos have permeated this oral tradition. Poets have become the equivalent of ministers, preaching for skirts and not religion. So most of what you hear on these stages is revolutionary. It's just well-written illusional commentary. I'm talking about poetic cinematography. Poetic minds trapped behind the moving bars of capitalism, so what they spitting for is commissary. Trapping your mind until you scream, set us free like Sinke, because they still lost in translation. Because the truth is, most poets wouldn't know that they got slapped in the face with a fucking revolution. They just spitting solutions. But words without actions become progressive constipation, like postpartum depression. They don't want to hear the real issues. But see, I got real talk. While they outline white paper with black ink, my black babies is still being outlined in white chalk. So if you enter these poetry dens with the mindset of upping your Facebook friends or packing your fist full of dividends, then the 3 minutes of this here joint, you've completely missed the point. That poetry meant to pierce your soul, creating action, producing productivity. You see, spoken word burns in my soul deeply, but not at the pace of losing my babies to a bunch of paper revolutionaries. I must confess, I love big butts, big booties attached to beautiful black beauties. But what I don't love is how Sarah Bartman is turning in her grave because she died on display. But you put your self-respect in the grave while dying to put yourself on display for Facebook and Instagram. Woo! Let me be the first man to tell you there's no Venus in your Hottentot. Taking selfies with your ass propped up on countertops, balancing cups like shaky bar stools, twerking for iPhones for predators that sit in dark rooms jerking off on their cell phone. Hashtag boss lady. Baby girl, what are you controlling? You're hanging yourself by social media's expectations, getting paid, so it's okay that the internet is your sugar daddy. You're declining your spirit and your mind, doing squats to add stock to your body. The highlight of your day is 15 seconds of fame with your ass wobbling down club hallways. If I gave you a new version of Twerk It, could you make your left and right mental hemisphere wiggle and clap? Drop something stimulating from your vocal cords instead of your G-string telling you what your life is worth. What happened to fully dressing your curves, letting the clothes lay on you in the way that it leaves something for the imagination? Hashtag lost art form. I miss seeing your sundress blow in the wind. I miss your baggy sweatpants. I miss my imagination. See, I must confess. See, I love big butts, big booties, attached to beautiful black beauties. But cover up, sisters. You're still hashtag a lady. I guess you can call me the greatest dealer of all time. See, I have you sniffing lines of 8x11s, 3 to 4 sheets at a time. So that brain-numbing sensation you're getting is just the elevation of your mind. See, I remain on a slow grind, changing generations of cloudy minds, one venue at a time. See, I use buses, trains, and planes to move the most potentest contraband in this game. See, I have you loving your family just on your first hit of me. More addictive than heroin, have your man testimony changed from this is my bitch to this is my black woman. See, understand, I'm not the contraband the government wants in your hand. Because no matter how many times you recook me in your disc decks, I come back cooked to perfection time and time again. See, I'm that good stuff that Huey P. Newton said gonna help us win. That stuff that got mama sending you back out when you come home from your binge. That's why Western society hates a hustle like me. You see, I pimp your kids and have them turning tricks on literacy. Having young girls saying, the hell with Kanye, we don't want D's, we flashing A's on them. By next summer, we gonna two-step and walk it out with diplomas. Detox these teachers from No Child Left Behind and shooting up hypodermic needles. I'm gonna teach them like he mine. Mine like pushing superior mathematics like speedball and main lines. As I take these young minds that are hooked on dreams and overdose them on raw reality. Spoon feed them kilos of inspiration till they have the dope not on success. Strong arm the board of education till they start pushing my fat sacks of knowledge laced with determination. Cause you see, I want to see panhandlers turn to men to handle strategic planning. Because to me, being a father to your baby is more economically sound than any quick fix for money. So I push fatherhood like fat packs of raw. So I push fatherhood like fat packs of raw. Uh-oh.
Let's go. Go ahead. That's why Western society.
Huh? Say it. You know it. Say it.
That's why Western society hates a hustle like me.
I'm gonna start from there. That's why Western society hates a hustle like me. Because I pimp your kids and having turning tricks on literacy. Having young girls saying, the hell with Kanye, we don't want D's, we flashing A's on them. By next summer, we going two-step and walk it out with diplomas. Detox these teachers from No Child Left Behind and shooting up hypodermic needles. I'm gonna teach them like he mine. Mine like pushing superior mathematics like speedball and main lines. As I take these young minds that are hooked on dreams and overdose them on raw reality. Spoon feed them kilos of inspiration till they have the dope not on success. Strong arm the board of education till they start pushing my facts and knowledge laced with determination. Because I want to see panhandlers turn to men to handle strategic planning. Because to being a father to your baby is more economically sound than any quick fix for money. So I push fatherhood like fat packs of raw. Because a baby daddy is short-lived like an ape-ball to a crackhead. So dog, it's better said that I'm the only hustler you know that push $100,000 medic for figures. Just so you can figure, when a beautiful sister fiends to be a professional, it don't matter what Wendy Williams say. She don't mean to give you all her brains. See, in this game, I've been known to create epidemics. The process is systemic. The movement is tedious. I got young girls coming to my venues to pass their first hit to their unborn fetus. You see, I do this shit to be relentless. Like the CIA pushed Colombian yay. Like Bush soldier hallucinogens on terrorism. I want to be that weed to correct your cataracts vision. I want to show you poor hoods turn to prosperous nations. I want to show you crackhead babies become positive manifestations. Yeah. So do me a favor. When you start shaking and fiending, don't get scared. Just ease on down Riders Block. Hop that fence over the Spitfire Boulevard. I'll be posted. Come holler. I got what you want. I'm your friendly neighborhood poetry dealer. Yeah. About Uncle Sam and money, and it just brought something out of me when he said Uncle Sam. Excuse me. Anybody know who Uncle Sam is supposed to be? In America, do you know who Uncle Sam is in America? Y'all better know because he's taking y'all money. So here is a conversation between me and Uncle Sam. I asked Uncle Sam why in God does he trust? He said, I trust in gold, oil, and drugs. Guns, oppression, and devastation. No matter how you write it, in God I trust. I smuggled life, liberty, in the pursuit of happiness under the dress of Lady Liberty so she can continuously fuck you into your dreams of freedom, allowing you to taste her lies as long as you promise to swallow yourself in the process. Made you demonize Islamic countries so you would forget that the devil was born in America. The Indians called me that way before the Africans got here. To hear Bible stories of Christianity, religion's youngest baby, I am a trinity within myself. I love everything black except you. Black gold, opium, I forgot to mention your black woman. Circumventing laws to prolong your incarceration means they will always need me to take care of them. Took my cotton fields and turned them into neighborhood firing yards. Hashtag kill yourself. I call that internal population control. In the terminology, in your terminology, I am that nigga. Convincing your hip hop nation that they think or they are me. I am your hustler on fleek. I'm your trap boy. I am your wet dream of self-actualization. Keep thinking we family. Keep calling me uncle. Better yet, tell yourself the damn truth. Just call me daddy. I'm from the generation that coined the phrases money over pussy, cash over hoes, and fuck bitches getting money. But you see, bitches, hoes, and pussy are the reason why these young brothers are trying to get money, so I guess they chose nookie over knowledge. While black women are living the dreams of our forefathers, niggas are lining dirty shirts and closets conserving lipstick on collars. You see, button-up shirts have become the criteria for chasing skirts, while t-shirts are worn in interviews. The confidence in conversation is now reserved for bar stools, so I guess it's pimps up and hoes down. The sanctified monkey, where a generation of foul-mouthed bastards with babies ain't funny, especially when the entry rate of inmates is higher than the rate of high school graduates. See, this poem ain't about young brothers getting pussy. It's about the potential of success if you apply the same strategies. So I want you to close your eyes and imagine. Just imagine them chasing education. Their downtime was spent talking about how good it felt to be in between the sheets of intelligence. A menage a trois was actually tickling the fancier numbers while keeping proper phonetics and bondage on standardized tests, even if they weren't meant to pass. So salad toss was reserved from them bum-ass teachers that were sick to their stomach just because you stuck it to them. And then baby having babies really meant embryonic thoughts to progress the viable plans. So by any stage of life, they became distinguished vessels of accomplishments. But for the abortion of knowledge, I put fathers at fault. Cause go get her, son, was the words of assault. The unlocked vault, loss of a son's purity, the mental act of sodomy, trying to please his father and society. Dreams of education washed away by the euphoric feelings of ejaculating tsunamis. So the death toll by ignorance is staggering. Relief efforts are stagnant. The Board of Education is equivalent to FEMA. Get there late, repair the outer shell while the sinner still decomposes to the core. Because young brothers still feel that parting us at the thighs will take them to the promised land, not realizing if you wet her mind with intellect, she'll bathe in pools of respect and admiration. See, I want them to talk about diplomas in the same manner he talks about giving it to her. I want him to grab on the high GPAs the same way he grab onto his crotch on the block every day. I want him to increase his mental fortitude faster than he decreases his sperm count so he can reaccount for something more productive in his bank of memories. Compounded by the fact that our babies are victims of larceny. Stolen educational money simultaneously reconstructing this capitalist society so his dick is the only thing he holds in his hand of value. Only feeling like a superstar when he has a deep lineup of baby mamas on his team. See, I want him to hold on to these words like his greatest wet dream. Take his tongue and embellish the flavor that monogamy with education will have him busting open situations with intellectual conversations that, sister, you'll never have to worry about the size of his loins, but how a young brother like that can impregnate the world with genius. What?
When did you write that?
Good question. There's a reason why you
I never heard. I hear everything else.
Ladies, if you don't know, those are my daughters, ladies and gentlemen. So they see me sometimes day or two before the oh! I didn't see you, baby. Sure. Sorry, you like your mama. Sorry. That's my baby right there, Scenario. All right, first off, we cannot use that word. Retract that word. You know what word I'm talking about? Please know. Please know. What word am I talking about? Yes, retract that. Yeah, we retract. Her friend. Okay. So we're gonna retract that word. I'm not ready to deal with that as yet. Before I do that, I just want to give a shout out to my mother, my wife, all my family. A young lady who became a really good friend of mine, and she's an advocate for children, she's an advocate for literacy, and she started a poetry group within her school. She's an English teacher at Easton. Please give her a round of applause to Karen. Daddy, they shot him. They shot him in the head, Daddy. Crying on the other end of the phone. I never felt so helpless in my life. Here I am, a 350-pound man, proud to call myself a father. Told my daughter I would always protect her, but at her first taste of emotional grief, I couldn't put my arms around her. Sitting in the parking lot of higher education, trying to gather the words that soothe her pain, but you see she's crying and she's sobbing as I'm trying to explain how her 15-year-old friend gets caught up in the gun game. But Daddy, he was intelligent. But Daddy, why doesn't it matter if they're spilling their own brain matter? It doesn't matter that he won't see his mother, reach his goals of being a counselor. I listened to her. You see, I had no answers, just visions. Visions of her future. You see, I'm not a racist, but at the pace they were losing black faces, I had to come to the realization that my baby just may have to marry men from other races. No time to talk about MUTEP or ISIS. I'm having a hard time learning about the lives that sit next to her in classes. See, I can't talk to her about Africa, because in today's reality, it doesn't connect with her. Young blood spilled in her neighborhood makes this her motherland. She'll tell stories from hieroglyphs written on concrete from her generation's tears, because her nationalism is represented by light poles harboring teddy bears. You see, my backyard is her Baghdad. Her walk to school is Beirut. Her tears, her eyes are Sierra Leone. Her tears are my diamonds being stolen by gun violence. So tell me, how do you speak to your daughter's tears? How can they be consoled? Because wiping them away is like disregarding souls. Out of all the books that I've ripped from their spines, none hold the knowledge to help me with this beast, this savage called parenting. They have me protecting her tears before brutality drinks them like a refreshing beverage. But to think about it, maybe it's me to blame. I can't stand the pungent taste of my own ego. Feeling she needed more hood in her soul, I put her in the battle zone. Allowing the streets to embezzle her tears meant for graduation, proms, and weddings. Baby, I'm so sorry. I meant this is only as a life lesson to help you with your strength of progression. So maybe, just maybe I should have lied about the hood. Took the salt in your tears, convert them to sugar, to candy coat the truth. Better yet, capture your tears in preserve jars. So when life really got hard, I can spread them on the wall to show you what you've been through. I never meant for your 5'6" frame to have to burden the worries of your brothers. At age 13, realized that your tears were the shields to protect lost souls. Loaded messages delivered to the ones that have died within the self-grips of hate. Capture her tears? No. I need for her and every little girl like her to cry. Baby, cry. Cry those little boys back in from the cold. Because the truth is, at the funeral, my baby's tears may be the only thing that saves the next boy's soul. It's like we can hear Willie Lynch in his gravesite yelling, "Your black woman is the key." But we continue to treat her like plated pieces of metal that can be replaced as long as you have the master. Throwing her away each time she doesn't fit the mold we keep resculpting. Forcing her in and out of our lives until the notches of her emotions become dull and worn down. So now she's become accustomed to being one key on a custard ring, color-coded so we know just when to use her. As we use her curves as wedges to pry open new sexual situations for our enjoyment, withering away her soul until it becomes a key to skeletons, feeling she has no choice but to open other doors, leaving broken pieces of herself behind embedded so deep, we'll always feel the piercing pains of what we have lost. It's like Willie Lynch is the locksmith who locked in the mechanisms of our hearts, so now future masters can tell if we be messed with. I mean, for the past 300 years, the passionate love she deserves been locked away like valuables in a storage facility. I mean, not allowing her to unlock our potential has made us weak enough to be broken up the hinges of who we are, unlatched. A treasure chest broken open, pirated. Forgetting she's the key to enlightenment has locked us behind doors of uncertainty, confusion, because we have been committing domestic violence way beyond the brink of physicality, and we have the nerve to stand in front of the mirror and ask the Lord, why me? Why me? Well, let's try calling her everything from a baby mama to a jump off while she takes care of our babies and we jump off. So it's evident why some black women engage in homosexuality. If you point one finger at her, there's three pointed back at us. Because we haven't realized she accomplishes everything she puts her mind to, but we only become accomplished by incorporating her mind too. Because you see, she's a strategist. She's the only one I know that can raise a grade A student, a world-class athlete, and a doctor while living below the poverty line, co-signing her man's future. If you don't believe me, just go ask Coretta. Ask Coretta why Martin is considered a martyr and not an adulterer. So when I say she's the key, I mean she unlocks every emotion. She's the reason for our devotion. Her belief in me is the reason I can look fearless in the face of adversity. I mean, I can carry the world on my back only because she's behind me massaging it. Sometimes way back in the cut, not really being seen, but trust me, she's the force of my movement. The key to life mathematical equations, so call her the mitigating factor, the truth. Just the sway of her hips have us singing it in different tongues, I mean Creole, Spanish, African, because she's the essence to birth nations. Allah said call her earth, only creating storms in your life when you don't allow her to unlock your respect. So I see the depths of pain pooling in the small of her back, guarding herself against those who can't grasp the concept that any disrespect to her minus his respect for himself. That's why the vessels in her eyes nourishes her visions of hope. Hope to pull the boy out of the man that's too scared to pull his pride off the pages of imprisonment. Ooh. So send this message to Stella with a single tear. Tell her she never lost her groove, it was us that didn't know her worth. While you at it, go tell Maya. Go tell Maya we fully understand why she rises. Always have to do more than a woman's work just to prove that she's phenomenal. This is a damn phenomenon how one man could take our keys and hide them in between lines and stretch the timeline of 300 years while having us standing here checking our pockets for what's standing right here in front of us, begging you to unlock me. I am the key. Unlock me. I am the key. Love me. I am the key. Peace. You should have never needed to ask how deep my love is for you. Because no matter how much of a prolific poet I become, my words can never describe how I wish my soul would melt into you. How I'm truly in love with who you are. But the thoughts of who you will become makes my spine tingle. As my heart, you see, my heart let your wisdom guide me on the path to completeness while I'm completing your sentences as if God has fused our minds and got our vocal cords on the same path. So when you speak, see, I glorify your name just a tad bit less than his with a full understanding the love of you is spiritual. Because, baby, your smile. Even your smile is so inspiring. It's like God spoke the book of Psalms to my soul through your lips. So me even thinking of touching them in a lustful way has become my greatest sin. Woo. So baby girl, you can rest assured, before my lips touch yours, it will hold the same faith and compassion when God made heaven. Because I can fully understand why he made your skin feel as soft as silk. So when I wrap myself into you, I will emerge from your cocoon a better man. See baby, I can never leave you behind because you're my right hand. Mm-hmm. But some try to describe you as the sun within my galaxy. But you're much more deeper than that. You see, you intrigue every part of my mental capacity. In fact, you are my infinite destiny. If I had to give you a letter grade between A and Z, it would have to be an I, because you're my inspiration. Out of all the poems that I've written, this must be my greatest creation, like it was birthed from my ribs. See, this is a godly manifestation, a gift. So I profess my unconditional love and devotion to you. So our love can be the sands of time, never withering thin. Then I can spend my life and not my reincarnation, just showing you how much I love you over and over and over and over again. Because you're more than just my queen, you see my devotion for living. It's like I'm baptized in joyful tears. I'm Daniel in the lions and defeating your fears. Elated by the fact that you walk with the grace and pride of Mother Africa, as your education speak echoes of Timbuktu, which explains why I feel adored, educated, and nurtured by you. Ask me how much I love you, girl, I adore you. I want to explore our relationship like Enoch did the 10 layers of heaven, just so God could send me back to show the rest of the world the face that you love is. So I'm so sorry if I never told you how much you really mean to me. You have to understand that I was caught up in beautiful you, just want to be part of simple me. And if anybody ever asks me, I'll tell them that you are the meaning of true love.